Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Talk Hockey with me. Talk Hockey with me is proudly sponsored by McCraw Media. McCraw Media is owned and operated by fellow Gamecock Sydney McCraw. Sydney has been a Gamecock fan since birth and grew up going to USC football games. She has a BSBA in marketing from High Point University and is at the forefront of social media marketing. Sydney has been working in the marketing industry for the past 4 years and decided to start her own agency. McCraw Media uses analytics to study your target market and industry and builds a personalized marketing plan to grow your business or brand faster than the competition. McCraw Media has 4 different plans of service. They provide strategic, tactical, operational, and a flex plan that allows them to be flexible for all. Contact McCraw Media today to see how they can help grow your business at mccrawmedia@gmail.com. That's MCCRAW media@gmail.com. or 803-517-2441. Mention Talk Hockey with me and get a free market breakdown included in your initial consultation. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We've got Tripp from Cock Hockey, Goalie. As you can see, I brought out the black jersey. Oh, I just disappeared. There we go. Yeah, we wanted to do something little different today. You know, we're not just football school here. We are a hockey school as well, and they are pretty damn good at that too. Tripp, say what's up to everybody. Give a little intro.
How's it going, everybody? Tripp Russell, senior goaltender for Gamecock Hockey, number 33 in your program.
Number 1 in our hearts.
Yes, sir.
I know how it works. So we're recording today on Thursday. Tomorrow will be Friday the 3rd. I think you've got a game.
Yes, sir.
Against some random school.
I don't know. My little brother just got accepted to some random school that I've never heard of that we might be playing tomorrow. So that was a bit of a kick in the pants before Sunday. But I'll do my best to convince him otherwise.
Does he play hockey too, or?
He does. He's a big boy playing up in Massachusetts, 6'1", 210. For any of you coaches out there looking to hire a friggin' hired gun out there.
That was a great plug because I do know without certainty that every single college hockey coach actually listens to my podcast on radio.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Sam Russell.
So y'all reach out to our guy. You know, give him give him a scholarship. So for those that are dumb and watching this, they're playing Clemson tomorrow. This is going to be the 3rd match of the year.
Shoot, it could be the 4th, it could be the 5th. It's been so long, man. I mean, it feels like we play them twice a month at this rate.
I was at the Greenville game a couple of weeks ago. That turned out very well in our favor.
That game was unreal.
7-1.
It was something preposterous like that.
Yeah,
the outpouring of support, like way up there in Greenville, like the place was packed.
Yeah, it was a really good crowd. I randomly enough, me and a buddy of mine, we went. I think it was still the Growl at the time. They're the Swamp Rabbits or whatever the hell they switched to this time. Yeah, so we had went to a game and they kept announcing, "Oh, come and be a part of the first ever South Carolina Clemson hockey game." We're like, "Damn, that's actually pretty cool." You know, we can go to that one. And they kept announcing it. We're like, well, when the hell is this game?
Right.
And then in the 3rd period, we look up, like, people start walking in, a bunch of college kids. We're going, why is everybody showing up in the 3rd period? This is so weird. And then we start looking, we go, oh shit, the game's after this game. So we ended up hanging around and staying and watched the first ever Clemson South Carolina hockey game.
Crazy.
And
was that the charity game? That
I have
how many
no. This was 15 years ago or so.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so we were there for that one, but my wife and I, we showed up the other week when y'all played in Greenville, and we had just sat down, and I got the tickets through y'all's website, but apparently it was in the Clemson section, and we're like, okay, there's a whole lot of orange around us.
Yeah.
Sat down for 3 seconds because we had just missed the start. Sat down and Clemson scored to go up 1-0, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna switch sections because I'm not sitting with these people if this goes that way. Right. And one of the guys, cocky for a reason, he shot me a message. He goes, hey dude, I'm up in the VIP suite, come up here with us. So us and the Adams, we all went up there, and things drastically changed, and it was very fun.
Hey, all you need is that one bounce to get you right back in the game. I remember, I want to say it was 5 years ago, before I was at school here. We played Clemson, I believe, in that Greenville rink, and there was a big brawl, and it was a charity game. So all that we had was ESPN, just a Donnybrook right in the corner, charity game. We were like, oh boy, but that kind of kicked everything off for us, I'd say.
Yeah, and that's what's fun. I mean, the rivalry's not as nasty as it used to be, just because so many people kind of, and I'm not saying for, hockey or whatever, but
yeah.
Just because so many people now have kids and they've gone to the other school and stuff. And I think the schools themselves have tried to tap that down a little bit, but when the game's on, we are not friends. There's a reason it's called a rivalry.
Yeah.
And this is one of the most, I mean, people have literally died over the rivalry between the two schools for different sports. Like
that's like kind of insane to me. And I didn't get it. So I'm from basically Boston, Massachusetts. It's just easier than saying Worcester, Mass, because nobody down here can pronounce Worcester. And my whole thing was growing up, it was Bruins, Canadians, Pats, Jets, or whoever we're playing, Sox, Yankees. So people are talking about, oh, these college rivalries. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. And then I come down here and, you go to your first football game, you go to the lots, and it's like, whoa, it's a totally different landscape. So like when I came down here and started playing college hockey, and I finally like figured out Clemson was our rival, I was like, oh boy, like let's go. My first ever game, we were in Clemson, and I remember their locker room was like, it wasn't like how we have it like in the room, it was in the rink, and it was like open with like a sheet, like a curtain. So like you look around the curtain and there's like the fans, and you're like trying to get dressed, you're like looking around, you're like making sure like you're not going to get like arrested changing into your gear over here. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is it. I guess we're playing college hockey now. Like, welcome to the South, baby. Oh, was fired up.
So this is what we do. We just change in front of everybody.
Yeah, I was like, all right, man. I mean, I'm not shy, but
yeah, it is. Well, we do say that they're a cow pasture over there, so
a little bit.
It's not crazy that it's not developed.
It's better now. They've got locker rooms now.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I want to get down and go to some of the matches y'all have down in Columbia. So I'm in Greenville. How much of the state do you know? So Greenville, I'm in the northwestern part of the state, up towards the mountains.
I got you.
Probably closer to Clemson than Columbia, but I'm a solid hour and a half to either one of them, so it's not really anything. But yeah, it growing up here as a Carolina fan was tough, very tough. So anytime that we win in anything, it's always one to rub back into them. And we always tell them too, we're like, we celebrate any win. They only celebrate football if they win, or they'll only bring up baseball if they actually win or do anything. And then we own them there too. Pretty big baseball series this weekend too. So hopefully y'all can get everything started on the good note, beating Clemson this weekend, and we just I'll bring it all the way through. But talking about the brawl and everything, that leads me to one of the points that you had mentioned, but just before we started recording, and with the jersey. Uh, so, what was the one thing about the new company that?
No, it's more just a reference to the old company. I can't be happier than what we've gotten through Verbero and their products and the ability for us to disperse kind of Gamecock hockey so easily and at such a good rate for us. But our old jerseys had a fighting strap, which is a like a Velcro strap sewn into the back on the underside of the jersey that you'd hook to your pants so you couldn't get the jersey pulled over your head, which was just such a weird thing for me to see. Because growing up, again, I'd never had a fighting strap on my jersey. I'm coming down here playing college hockey in Columbia, South Carolina. I put on my jersey as a goalie and I've got a fighting strap on the back. I'm like, should I be like hooking this thing up here? Like, who are we playing tonight? It's like a UNCW. It's like, do they hate us? It's like, I hope not, because I'm not putting my fighting strap on, right? But you're not supposed to fight in college hockey, so don't do that.
Fighting is bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it seems like, because I've gone to a lot. I used to go to a lot of the Growl games. I don't make it to as many anymore. I never really followed hockey before then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of the one, I love going to games. I can't really watch it on TV as much because I like, with me trying to learn the game, I try to watch other things, instead of just the hockey, because there's so much more going on. And it's like when you watch it on TV, it's just puck, 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 puck. And I'm like, but I can't watch it. I can't see what's actually going on. But it seems like here lately with the fighting with hockey, it's more of, we'll let you go a little bit. The second it goes to the ice, you're done.
I assume you're talking NHL fighting wise.
Well, just any of them.
Well, so it's like any sport. There's been a shift in how the game is played. I remember my favorite hockey season was 2011 Boston Bruins Stanley Cup champs. And fighting was at that point it's kind of for show. And that's kind of why they started taking it out, because you'd be watching a game and, I'm 11 years old. They're dropping gloves before the puck even hits the ice. I'm like, let's go. This is unreal. But as the game's developed, they've moved towards speed, skill, less of that fighting, because, you got 12 forwards. And if one team's got 12 guys that can skate really fast and shoot hard, and one team's got 10 guys that can do that, I mean, you're almost at a disadvantage right off the bat. But I think that fighting play is an integral part of the game, in that if you can't self-regulate outside of the rules, then that code of honor is going to be lacking. You can see it in other sports.
I was just about to say that you see it in baseball now, and baseball there was really never a whole lot of fighting. A whole lot of jaw jacking, but usually hits batter and stuff. But that sport has kind of grown to a point to where, somebody pimped a home run, the next guy was getting dinged.
Yeah.
But now it's gone to the next guy's getting one high at the head. I'm like, no. We ain't trying to kill people. Stick it in his ribs. If you crack one, you crack one. He's out for a couple of days, but he's not in ICU for weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the issues with everything, is things have escalated to a point to where, it's not a punch anymore, and then we skate off to our sides. It's people are getting seriously hurt. And didn't a couple guys, hit the ice a few years ago and got brain injuries and all? And
I mean, that's something you see regardless of, based on how the sport is played. But I mean, I'm kind of in the old school mind frame of this, that fighting prevents a lot of these injuries, because, you got a guy that takes a dirty shot at one of your players. If he doesn't think he's answering the bell, he's going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's that accountability that needs to be maintained. And this is obviously not for club sport, college hockey. This is just my thought process on how the game has changed. Like I don't think you could ever ban it from the sport, because then you'd just be playing soccer on the ice.
Yeah, and hockey's one of those, you're not seeing the flops like you were saying with soccer.
You see them every now and again.
Really?
You see your boy take a spill and he like looks at the ref and you're like, get up, what are you doing? Come on. The ref can see it just as well as I can, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's, Gretzky was so great back in the day He had his enforcers and stuff, and people knew if you even looked at Gretzky wrong, you were getting an ass whooping.
Yep.
And I mean, and that's why which is funny with Ovechkin, like Ovechkin will get in there by himself. Yeah. Like he's going to score and he'll pound.
That guy's a beast.
It's, I think that's the difference between him and Crosby, which, that poor kid, he's had 40,000 concussions and stuff.
Yeah, but I think he's got 3 cups. So at this point,
I don't feel too terrible about. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy, right?
Yeah, but, he's been okay, but yeah, Ovechkin's like, he's just his own dude.
Oh, dude, I was listening to the Spit and Chickless podcast the other day. I mean, that guy, he's gonna break Gretzky's record. You heard it here first. What's he need? Like 80 more goals?
Yeah,
it's preposterous. How do you even do that? He's called the Great One, and then you got the Great 8 right behind him in goals.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I can't even fathom it. I thought it was impossible.
Yeah, it's with his skill, I think for him, it's going to be how long does he want to do? Like, is that his driving force at this point? He definitely had. Yeah, he definitely has the skill. He's going to do it, but
and I think he's also one of those guys. Just the way he plays just a all-around game: hit, pass, shoot. And if you've got all 3 of those things, you can make a living in hockey for a long, long time.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty good. Kind of switching back to cock hockey, what is I just got that my internet connection is struggling, so hopefully we don't have any issues with it. But what's really the difference between the club sport and the NCAA level?
Well, there's obviously a couple factors. The first one that comes to my mind is, well, granted, all the rules are the same. The only thing that really comes to my mind right off the bat is funding. So we don't receive a lot, if any, from the school. A lot of that we fund ourselves through merch. We still pay dues, which is no fun. Trying to think what else. But yeah, so we've got to put that money towards buses, hotels, ice, equipment, jerseys. And we still try and, do our things. Like we had our military appreciation night where we auctioned off the jerseys we wore for, I'm trying to remember the name of the charity right now. It'll come to me later. And so we donated proceeds through that. But I really just say that funding, because you see these D1 kids, you see those locker rooms, they walk in, it's got the big UMass on it. You're like, oh boy. And we've just done our best to make our little time on the ice there a happy one.
So is it more, I guess, recognition from that school itself?
Well, the school recognizes us because they still like to take a little cut of the jersey sales every now and again, depending on what's on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of just hockey's expensive, man. You got to pay. It's not like you just get on some field somewhere and chuck around a ball for a little bit. Like, ice is expensive. There's 3 hockey rinks in South Carolina. So we don't exactly have the leverage with the rink to make something sway in our benefit. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I imagine a lot of those D1 teams fly. I mean, the bus is the best, though. Hanging out with the boys, 6-8 hours, whatever it is, time flies by. You just play some Uno, something like that. A little karaoke, never hurt.
So let's say Magic 1 came and boom, y'all are NCAA level team. Are we going after Minnesota? Or are we calling the big boys?
I don't know. I think there's definitely a skill differential. Like, we have kids who have played very high level hockey. I'm talking, we've got a D3 transfer. We got a bunch of kids who played high level junior. So obviously there is a skill differential there. I mean, myself, I didn't even make my varsity team in high school. My peak athletic season was last year, I'd say. I started real late. So I can only thank my dad for that little roadblock starting me late. My little brother was on the ice when he was like 6. I'm like, Dad, what are we doing here? But no, those teams are they're next level. I would say if we were to become a division, it'd probably be D3 hockey in the NCAA, which people hear D3 and they go ooh, but D3 hockey is serious business. Those boys, you see it right now. There's teams, Minot State in the American College Hockey Association, the ACHA. I think they're going to be scrimmaging Denver and maybe like Minnesota, one of those teams, but they're going to be scrimmaging some legit squads.
Nice. Yeah, it's always fun to just see the different levels and what does it take to be D3 versus a D1 kind of deal. But we just came out of, you'll have to remind me, what's the actual conference name?
The College Hockey South.
That's right.
CHS.
Just came out of the tournament, fell just shy in that championship match.
Yeah.
What, 4-1?
I think it was 6-2.
6. Okay. Was that Bama?
So we beat Auburn, I believe 3-1, and then we played Bama. We beat them something like 4-1, 4-2. I think it was 4-2. And we're actually pretty glad we got to see Bama because that's one of those teams that has always been like adjacent to us, like, but we've never actually played them. They got a real good squad. Those jerseys are super nice too. Excuse me. And then we played UTampa.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
a good team.
And I did see we got the bid for the Nationals.
Yes, sir.
When's that one start?
March 9th, I believe.
Okay.
So we're going to be busting up there to Philly. 32 teams. I think we're coming in at the 8 seed. We got a pretty strong pool too. Liberty, Bama, us, and somebody else.
Yeah, you took my next question. I was going to ask where it was at and everything. So,
Philadelphia. It's some town adjacent. You see, this is a great interview. I know all the exact answers, right?
Oh, no.
That's up on Philly somewhere, right?
you could say the exact answers, and 99% of people would hear it and be like, right. Where?
That one guy up in that town is like, come on, say it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got it.
Come on, say it. Yep, that's where I'm from. That's me. That's me. So somebody listening in, watching, goes to some hockey games, but may not have a whole great idea of, what they're really seeing. What's kind of the one thing that you would tell somebody going to a hockey game that doesn't completely, what should they look for? Like I was saying earlier, I like to watch around the rink, not just the puck. Now that we have nets that completely cover the entire arena and pucks don't go flying, you can watch a little bit more. Like, that was part of the fun, was seeing people on their phone get pegged with pucks. Like,
well, we still have a pretty open section where most of the fans sit, so definitely keep your head in a swivel. But I mean, if you've ever been to Willie B and had a good time, come down to Irmo and watch a game. I'm sure you'll have just as good a time. And I can tell you for one thing, the beers are a hell of a lot cheaper, like $3. So I mean, our motto my freshman year was come for the beer, stay for the hockey, because we didn't have any fans showing up. So I was out there standing in my jersey handing out flyers on Bull Street, Green Street. But I mean, if you could never have seen a hockey game before, bring your kids if you got them. It's a great time. We still play Sandstorm. You still wave the towel, fly around out there. Try and look at how fast the game is. That's one thing I think people don't anticipate, because basketball's fast, football's fast, but hockey, 2 strides and you're going 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, and I know selling tickets is not an issue now. I believe y'all sold tomorrow's game out in 6 minutes.
Every time I ask how quick we sold out, the number goes down. I heard 2 minutes. I heard 3 minutes, 6 minutes.
Well, I'm in a chat and somebody said, "Oh, hockey always sells out in 10 minutes." And then they went on sale and everybody's like, "Crap, I didn't get them." Yeah, they went out in 6 this time. I was like, damn.
I had to request a ticket from my mom, my girlfriend, because I knew that there was no chance they were getting one online. So
it went pretty quick. Um, Tripp, you got anything to add or
I don't know.
anything that I missed?
I just say the growth of the club through social media. So we're actually
Y'all have a phenomenal social
number
media
one
team.
most followed club hockey team in the country.
Really?
Media. And I'd like to give a shout out to Ben Smith, Liam Gorley, Charlie Miller, because those guys kind of developed this conglomerate of media into the absolute monster you see today. And
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hilarious.
I'll be skating up in Massachusetts with my little brother. Some kid will come up to be like, "You're on Gamecock Hockey?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, wait, man, all right, I'm not famous.
Yeah, when you're not in the South and somebody walks up and says "Gamecocks," it is a little startling at first. You're like, what?
I mean, I was having a adult beverage in Boston this past winter break, and I ran into 4 or 5 people from down here. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like, it's kind of crazy how it all kind of comes together.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been in Vegas, I've been in Cancun, and like wearing some Carolina stuff, and people walk up, "Hey, go Cox!" And like everybody else looks around like, "What did you just
I'll be
say?"
driving, I'll see someone they're doing this. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go, man."
Yeah,
Um,
this fan base is insane, but um, y'all social media, like it really is, and it's funny because even though I don't get to, obviously it's not online and stuff, you don't get to watch a whole lot. Like I'll track you during games
well, we
by their
do
page.
broadcast a lot of our games over YouTube. So we
Ah,
have the like the local school broadcasting students come in, and then we usually tweet out the YouTube link. So feel free to follow us on YouTube,
I've
watch the
missed
game.
that.
Yeah, my dad, he sits at home on the couch with the Roku. I had to teach him how to get it on YouTube and poke it all in. So he'll be watching our games from the couch. He'll text me in the middle of the game. I'm like, "Dad, I'm trying to stop the puck here." Like,
I was about to say that's trouble. If he's anything like my dad, he would be sitting there like, "Why did you miss that one?
oh yeah, he's like, "Come on, you
We
got to go
practiced
there."
that over
I'm
summer.
like,
What's wrong with
dude.
you?"
Like, I'll check my phone just briefly after the first period, and then I'll just see 20 messages. I'm like, "All right, I'm not even gonna open that can of worms."
Yeah,
Um,
mine would always like. I played baseball, so if you strike out, going back to the dugout, my dad's, "Why'd you chase that pitch?" Like, because I'm an
yeah,
idiot. That's why.
yeah, but I mean, in baseball, you can't like pretend you didn't hear him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
standing right there. You're like, "Oh, shit."
yeah. At least in hockey, they're slamming on the
Yeah,
glass and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Like, go
Oh, the
away, leave me
worst.
alone.
We played in Tennessee, and they play at SPHL rink, which is kind of like what Greenville has. I mean, they didn't. There was like maybe a small student section, but they had the quarters. You take a quarter, just a regular American, you tap it on the glass, and I'm standing right there, like
Oh,
a fish, just getting, Finding Nemo, the girl tapping on the glass.
oh.
That's got to be the worst.
So there we go. Is that the worst road trip story ever?
Oh, geez. I mean, I got COVID last year. We went down to Boca Raton, which wasn't exactly fun. Dude, we were in Boca Raton. It was like 40 degrees out. I was like,
I don't
come on.
even get to
And they were
enjoy
like,
this.
yeah, no, I know. I mean, we played Embry Riddle, UCF, a couple of good squads there. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, Gamecock hockey has been the pinnacle of my athletic career. I mean, I get to see the South
Mm-hmm.
and play hockey and sign, pucks for little kids who think I'm going to the NHL. I mean, I feel like I might be going to the NHL myself just with the way I've been treated down here, received by the fan base. I mean, there's nothing bad I could say about my experience with this team.
uh, Going back on what we were talking earlier, what's the best fight you've ever
Ooh.
been involved with? Although fighting is bad.
I try not to mix it up too much. It's
See, you're
kind
the
of a
goalie. You've got all the pads. You get to really get in there and not have to
I
worry
know,
about
I
it.
know. I told myself freshman year I wanted to get in a fight before I graduated, but then I realized I wanted to keep playing hockey and that my coach probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I remember my boy Rob Lawrence, number 14, got in a couple good scrapes. And I think that was one of the first times I had seen somebody at this level friggin' take a kid's helmet off and just start feeding him. I was like, "Jeez, Rob, calm down, dude. Like, what are we doing, man?" And I mean, the place was going crazy. He did the arms up as he was taking off the ice. That place was rocking. I can't remember who he played. It might have been Clemson.
Yeah, there's been a couple of scuffles in that one.
Oh, there's
over the
always
years.
something. There's always something. But yeah, we play them tomorrow night at 8:15 in Irmo. So that'll be a good watch. I mean, I'll be playing in it. It's my last game as a Gamecock. So I mean, there's a lot of sentimentality flying around there for me. But I
Yeah,
mean, all the boys are just looking forward to nationals.
yeah. So not your last game, just
Not
the
mine.
last
Yeah,
last
I
at
guess
home.
not like that. But my
Last at home.
last in the Plex.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Get me all teary eyed over
Oh,
here.
it's tough, man. Like I kind of think back to my days of doing that, and it's one of those everybody goes, "Oh, what do you think about?" Oh, it's just another game. It's not. I'm there with you. Like you really do kind of think like this is nearing the
Mhm.
end of it all, and so no, I get it. It's one part fun, it's one part nerve wracking and sad and all that at the same time. But I to this day can remember my very last at bat. I walked up, I said, I don't care what he's throwing. I'm swinging to hit this ball as absolutely far as humanly possible for me. I struck out.
Like, he must have got contact, right?
Oh, yeah. I did. I sat there. I said, I don't give a damn if he throws a breaking ball. Like, I'm swinging out of my shoes. All three of those swings, I missed by like 4 feet. Walked back to the dugout like full tears, but like, oh, that was my last at bat
I'm
ever.
sure after that first swing, he was like, "All right, two dirt balls coming at you."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just chug it.
It was definitely one of those. But I was like, you know what? I literally went out balls to the wall, and
Yep.
um, but no. So I'm definitely going to be following the Nationals. Obviously tomorrow night's game too. So y'all got to bring. Don't end it without the trophy, the hardware.
Well, I mean, we got 6 or 7 seniors that I've been playing with for 4 years. I know those boys, they don't want to go out with a loss against the Orangites. So
Definitely not.
no.
Well, y'all got it. Tripp, appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
We gotta sign it off the same way. My guests have to hit with the demo, the Go Gamecocks. So if you got any parting words, do it, and then close us out with your best. Go Gamecocks.
All righty. I just say go cock hockey, baby. Go Gamecocks. Let's go.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you.